what if Hevy survived the Clone Wars and helped stop Order 66? This alternate timeline story begins on the Rishi Moon, where Hevy is tasked with linking the remote detonation charges to destroy the outpost in order to warn the Republic of an impending surprise attack on Kamino. As Captain Rex hands the detonation device to Hevy to try and fix, Echo and Fives decide to stay and help. Rex and Cody then escape through the maintenance vent to the outer perimeter and wait for Domino Squad to finish their task. After a few unsuccessful tries to link the device, Hevy grabs his Z6 rotary blaster and tells Echo and Fives to help buy him some time. Blaster bolts start flooding through the room from the incoming wave of battle droids. Echo, Fives, and Hevy remember their recent training on Kamino and use 3 squad formations to effectively hold back the first wave of droids. Worried, Echo calls Rex through his comlink and tells him that the remote device is faulty and they are taking heavy fire from droids. Rex and Cody both look at each other and rush back through the way they escape. While making a fierce attempt to hold their line in the main room, Domino Squad, Rex, and Cody are pushed back to the weapons barracks. They prep for their final stand. Hevy grabs a new Z6 blaster and some thermal detonators with a single remote activated switch. He then asks the group to carve him a path straight to the main control center so he can plant the thermal detonators directly on the tanks of Tabana gas. Rex takes point, with Cody, Echo, and Fives blasting droids as fast as they can. Hevy runs down the main hallway, getting hit by 2 different blaster bolts in the shoulder, and falls while simultaneously tackling a B-1 battle droid directly in front of the tanks. After he rips the droid's head off, Hevy quickly plants the thermal detonators and links them to his wrist comlink. As even more battle droids flood in, the group of clones fall back and escape one by one through the vent. Once outside, Hevy presses the remote trigger button on his wrist, detonating the entire Rishi Moon outpost. As the Republic's notified and immediately sends gunships to arrive for pickup, Hevy looks back at the fiery remains of the outpost and tells Rex how much he hated that place. Once back on the Venator cruiser, Hevy, Echo, and Fives mourn the loss of Cut-Up and Droidbait while being awarded their medals and recognized of their achievements by Anakin and Kenobi. Captain Rex then recruits the 3 clones to join the 501st. Domino Squad agrees. While Hevy is excited not to be as shiny anymore, the loss of Cut-Up and Droidbait has him question the role of the clones and the Republic's view of him and his brothers. Hevy tells Fives and Echo that their training paid off and that they can survive anything now thanks to their extreme first mission on the Rishi Moon. In the coming days, Hevy, Fives, and Echo customize their armor after officially being initiated into the 501st Legion. Hevy decides to paint a double 9 logo on his front chest in honor of Clone 99, and inscribes some icons on his helmet to honor the fallen members of his squad. The 3 clones develop a strong friendship with Rex over their initial missions with the 501st. While Rex doesn't see eye to eye with Hevy on everything, he respects his will and determination to blaze his own path. Rex notices early on that Fives and Hevy are very different from any other clones he served with. After a handful of missions and even more combat experience, Domino Squad and the 501st are sent to Kamino to help defend their homeworld from an impending separatist invasion. Hevy, Echo, and Fives walk down the Kamino hallway and reminisce of their early days as clones. They then run into Clone 99 picking up a bunch of blaster rifles off the floor. Hevy immediately helps, and 99's face lights up once he realizes Hevy has returned. He tells Hevy that he has been keeping his cadet graduation medal safe, and is shocked when Hevy gives him another one from his heroics on the Rishi outpost. He then tells 99 to stick close to him, as he worries for his safety. 99 agrees, but tells Hevy he must return to his duties or else he'll get in trouble. He begrudgingly pats 99 on the back and says he'll see him again soon. After a couple days pass, General Grievous launches an all-out attack on Kamino. Domino Squad is deployed to the upper levels of the facility to take sniping position. Hevy rains down a reckless flurry of blaster fire from his Z6, while Echo and Fives pick off Aqua droids one by one. Growing increasingly frustrated, Hevy tells Fives and Echo that they have to find 99 and that he's most likely in danger. Echo pleads that they must follow their orders, but Fives begins to agree with Hevy. They both drag Echo with them to find 99. As the clones look all over the upper level, they eventually run into him leading a group of young cadets to Rex and Cody. As the entire facility is flashing red, the group decides to make a stand in the clone barracks. Domino Squad, Cody, Rex, the cadets, and 99 all take cover behind various containers as they exchange blaster fire with the droids. Hevy's minigun is able to take out an impressive amount of droids due to the tight layout of the room. 99 says he can go get more detonators for the clones, but Hevy is quick to shoot down his idea. 99 starts to run for the weapons room, and Hevy then follows right behind him, providing cover fire. Hevy takes a blast to the leg and drops to the floor. 99 frantically helps him up. Fives and Echo then go full berserk mode and make sure that Hevy and 99 get there safely. Once there, Hevy loads up 99's backpack full of detonators and even hands him a DC-17 blaster. They both rush back to the battle, and 99 begins handing out detonators to all the clones. Once fully equipped, they start hurling detonators, piling up droids in massive amounts. After securing the barracks and surrounding rooms, the group rushes out to the outer platform to see squads of ARC troopers launching rockets at the remaining Trident-class ships. Kamino was finally secure from Separatist invasion. Hours after the initial attack, Rex and Cody present Hevy, Fives, and Echo with the news that they are being made ARC troopers. The three clones look at each other, thrilled and excited. Hevy then mentions that 99 should be promoted as well, and that they couldn't have held off the droids without him. Rex and Cody both agree, and eventually talk to Nala Se, who then promotes 99 to work as a communications director for the Kamino and Cadet training program. Once ARC troopers, the three clones set out to the Citadel to help Anakin, Ahsoka, and Kenobi with saving Master Even Peel. After successfully finding Master Peel, the group fails an attempt to get out of the Citadel on a Separatist shuttle, and an all-out battle takes place, jeopardizing the entire rescue mission. Echo makes a drastic attempt to stop the droids from blowing up the shuttle. Both Hevy and Fives yell at him to wait. As Echo runs near the ship, the droid blasts it, causing a huge explosion. The surrounding clones get knocked to the floor. Echo's helmet falls to the ground, totally destroyed. Both Hevy and Fives scream Echo's name. Kenobi tells them that they have to go now. Hevy refuses while Fives stands in shock. Ahsoka and Anakin agree that they can still hold the line here, and that Echo's mistake shouldn't be the reason they run. Hevy, in pure rage, uses a Z6 blaster to throw at the commando droid that blasted the ship, knocking him straight to the ground. He then engages in melee combat with the droid, and ultimately destroys it. Anakin and Ahsoka dismantle more commando droids while the clones lay down cover fire. After a hard-fought stand, the group finally secures the landing platform. Knowing that they don't have much time, Hevy and Fives find what's left of Echo under the wreckage of the ship. Horrified, Hevy grabs Echo, puts him over his shoulder, and tells the group that they need to get out to the evac as soon as possible. Kenobi and Anakin both look at each other reluctant and suggest that Echo is too injured to carry on. Hevy ignores their remark and insists that he is not leaving him behind. After a tumultuous journey that involved many casualties to protect Echo, the group finally makes it to the pickup zone. Plo Koon arrives with the Wolf Pack to save the remaining members of the strike team. Once aboard the Venator, Echo is immediately sent to the medical bay. Both Hevy and Fives impatiently wait to hear of Echo's status. Hours later, they learn that Echo will survive with the help of cyber prosthetics. With both of them feeling relief, they begin to realize the impact this will have on Echo. Anakin then talks with Rex about Hevy's strong determination to think for himself, and how it put the Citadel rescue mission in jeopardy. Rex assures his general that Hevy is a valuable asset to the 501st, even though he doesn't always follow orders. He reluctantly relays this information to Hevy, who brushes it off and questions the Jedi and Republic's view of the clones. Days later, Echo finally awakes. In disbelief of his current state, Hevy and Fives try their best to console him. Learning of what happened, he thanks them both for refusing to leave him behind. He insists that he can still be useful to the Republic. Hevy angrily tells Echo that the Republic did this to him, and that he should not feel any obligation to rush back to their service. Echo states that it was his own doing, and jokes with Hevy that he once told him that he should be on the front lines blasting droids anyway. After many weeks of rehab and recovery, Echo gets sent to Topoka City to be the head of Kamino security. Many months later, the 501st is sent to invade Umbara and secure it from Separatist control. Hevy, Fives, and a whole slew of 501st clones hit the ground running. The drop zone is intense and chaotic, with the Umbarans providing a strong resistance. Hevy meets a fellow 501st clone on the battlefield named Hardcase, who is also wielding a Z6 cannon. Together, they cover a huge part of the battlefield in blaster bolts. While the Umbaran resistance is tough, they're no match for Anakin and the 501st. Once they successfully finish the first battle of Umbara, Anakin is called back to Coruscant, with Master Pong Krell replacing him as Jedi General. Hevy was familiar with Pong Krell and heard past rumors of his reckless commanding of other clones, leading him to have a talk with Rex. Rex notes Hevy's concern, but tells him that they must push on with Krell in command. After the successful taking of the Umbaran airbase, it was clear to Hevy that Krell hated clones, leading to a huge confrontation between Rex and Krell. When Fives intervenes, Krell pulls out his lightsaber to threaten him. Hevy then throws his minigun directly at Krell, who slices it in half. He then tells Krell he will not let him threaten his clone brothers, and will die to defend them if he has to. Krell orders that Hevy be apprehended immediately, and that he will be charged with treason. Sergeant Apo and a few 501st clones make sure that Hevy is secured. Handcuffed, he tells Fives and Rex that they will die if they listen to any more of Krell's orders. Fives then tells Rex that they must do something about Krell. Reluctant, Rex assures him that Krell won't get away with this once they get off of Umbara. As the opinion on Krell sours between clones like Hardcase, Tup, and Jesse, Fives makes a plan to disobey Krell's orders and secretly take Umbaran starfighters to blow up a separatist supply ship. With this rogue mission being successful at the expense of Hardcase, Krell orders that Jesse and Fives be locked away and executed along with Hevy. As they are prepped for execution, Hevy and Fives both give speeches about the morality of what Krell is having their brothers do to them. When no 501st clone follows through with this order, Hevy and Fives then rally the clones to arrest Krell. With Rex leading point, a huge squad of 501st clones flood into Krell's headquarters. He reveals that he is working with a Sith Lord and starts to unleash havoc against the clones. Hevy tries to engage in hand-to-hand combat with Krell, but is sliced in the back by his lightsaber and then pushed to the floor. Krell bursts out of the window, and the rest of the clones follow him. Hevy blacks out, and is later awakened by Rex and Fives. They tell Hevy that Krell was caught, and Dogma killed him. Disorientated, he tells them that they cannot trust anyone, even if they are part of the Jedi Order or the Republic. He assures them that they must stay vigilant, and if they want to see the end of the war, they must think for themselves and not blindly follow orders, especially when they are wrong. Fives agrees, and the three clones begin to talk about what the end of the war could look like. Nearly a year later, the Clone War still rages on, and the 501st are sent to Ringo Vinda with Jedi Generals Tiplar, Tipli, and Doom Company. At this point in the Clone Wars, Hevy is regarded as one of the most skilled clone troopers in the 501st. Fives and him have become an unstoppable duo, and are some of the best soldiers Rex has ever seen. What seems like a simple battle plan turns into a nightmare when Tup randomly executes Master Tiplar. Fives tackles him to the ground and the entire group retreats. Hevy is shocked to see Tup repeating the same line over and over: "Good soldiers follow orders." He asks Rex if he's ever seen anything like this. After a brief checkup by Kix, Hevy and Fives are tasked with transporting Tup back to Kamino for further examination. Once they arrive, they're greeted by Echo and 99. The four clones catch up on old times and await the status of Tup. Hevy and Fives are convinced that something isn't right, and worried whatever happened to Tup could happen to them. He then asks Echo and 99 if they've noticed anything out of the ordinary happening on Kamino. With the conversation leading nowhere, Hevy and Fives ask Nala Se directly if she knows of anything that could have caused Tup's mental lapse. Assuring them that it was a rare virus, Fives and Hevy remain extremely doubtful. When Nala Se eventually tells them that they are barred from seeing Tup from this point on, they immediately go to Echo and 99. Hevy tells both of them that they have to figure out what is going on with Tup and to buy them as much time as possible. Even though both Echo and 99 were hesitant of Hevy's plan, they trusted him enough to agree to help. 99 mentions that there is a medical droid called AZ who's in charge of various medical procedures. Once found, Hevy and Fives interrogate the droid, expecting AZ to be resistant, but to their surprise, he was willing to help them examine Tup's brain. With their new medical droid friend, 99 was able to pry Nala Se away from the medical bay, and Echo rerouted the Kaminoan security force away from the area that Tup was in. With Tup's room clear, Hevy, Fives, and AZ sneak into the room. Tup is lying unconscious on a medical bed. AZ begins to scan his brain, finding some sort of tumor in his head. Both Hevy and Fives shocked. They tell AZ to remove it. After a quick procedure, he removes the organic tumor. Tup awakens and mutters in pain, telling them that the nightmares are finally over. He then blacks out. AZ does a vital scan and confirms that he has passed away. Sad, confused, and angry, both clones demand that they be scanned as well. The same type of tumors are found in both Hevy and Fives. With the weight of uncertainty on their minds, they both decide to investigate with AZ to find the origin of these tumors. After snooping around the Kaminoan facility, they discover that the clones have been given inhibitor chips at birth, and that Tup's likely malfunctioned. Hevy and Fives demand that AZ also remove theirs immediately. After successful procedures, the two clones bring their findings to Shaak Ti, and request an immediate transport to Coruscant to speak with the Jedi Council. Shaak Ti calls upon Nala Se for further clarification. Furious, Nala Se demands that Hevy and Fives be arrested and decommissioned. Knowing of both Fives and Hevy's storied service to the 501st and Republic, and of their new findings, Shaak Ti denies this request. Hevy and Fives demand answers from Nala Se, who refuses to speak to them, only saying that removing their inhibitor chips was a grave mistake. After Shaak Ti speaks to the Council and Palpatine, she notifies both the clones that they will be transported directly to speak with the Council. Echo and 99 say their goodbyes as a Republic attack shuttle lands on the Kamino port. Fox, accompanied by 2 shock troopers, come to retrieve Hevy and Fives. As they board the ship, Hevy looks back at Echo and 99 and gives them a nod. Once in space, en route to Coruscant, Commander Fox declares that Hevy and Fives are to be executed for treason against the Republic, and that it's a direct order from Chancellor Palpatine. Hevy and Fives quickly grab their blasters from their holsters and start trading fire with 2 of the shock troopers. Hevy manages to knock out 1 trooper, while Fives stuns the other. Fox then blasts Fives in the shoulder and tackles Hevy to the ground. He loses his blaster and begins to trade punches with Hevy. After Fox is able to knock Hevy out cold, he reaches for his other blaster pistol. As soon as he draws it, a blaster bolt goes straight through Fox's chest. He falls to the ground, revealing Fives behind him. After helping Hevy up, both clones run to the cockpit to force the pilot to give them control of the ship. Once they made it to Coruscant, they went straight to the Jedi Temple. The clones were greeted by Plo Koon and told them that they must speak with the Council immediately. Hevy and Fives tell the Council everything they have discovered, including that Palpatine had the Coruscant Guard try to execute them. As the Council processed all of this information, Yoda believed that the 2 clones had found valuable information, but did not know what to do with it. He stated that there was not enough evidence to arrest Palpatine, and that the entire clone army could not undergo this inhibitor chip removal procedure, especially with it being unproven, and the Republic being at a crucial part of the Clone Wars. In disbelief, Hevy storms out of the council chamber, leaving Fives behind. Mace Windu, in deep thought, decides to catch up with Hevy and talk to him. He tells him that he senses a plot to destroy the Jedi, and requests that he accompany him to arrest Palpatine. Hevy agrees, but says that they will need more than just him and Windu if Palpatine is believed to be behind all of this. Later that night, Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Agen Kolar, Saesee Tiin, Rex, Fives, and Hevy all storm the Chancellor's office. Palpatine welcomes them in a surprised fashion, and the mood turns dark quickly as Windu announces that Palpatine is under arrest. He pulls out a lightsaber that quickly reveals a red blade and dashes straight into the Jedi, instantly killing Agen Kolar and Saesee Tiin. Kit and Windu fend off against Palpatine's offensive flurry as Rex, Hevy, and Fives fire as many blaster bolts as they possibly can. Palpatine uses Force Lightning to knock the 3 clones back. Kit Fisto holds off Palpatine for as long as he can until getting slashed in the chest. Mace then proceeds to have a one-on-one duel with Palpatine, ultimately besting him. Right as Windu is about to kill Palpatine, Anakin and Ahsoka storm through the office. Anakin tells Windu to drop his lightsaber and stop, claiming that the Chancellor could never be capable of such doings, and that he must stand a proper trial. Rex, Fives, and Hevy plead with Anakin that Palpatine is indeed behind all of this. In denial, Anakin charges at Windu. As he's about to swing his lightsaber, it immediately gets blocked by Ahsoka's. He tells her to move out of the way immediately. Refusing to do so, Ahsoka and Anakin start to duel, with Windu trying to block Palpatine's Force Lightning. Rex then sets his blaster to stun and tries to hit Anakin. Fives and Hevy attempt to grab onto Anakin to disarm him, but fail. After Anakin bests Ahsoka and force pushes her out of the way, Anakin charges towards Windu. Right as Anakin gets close to Windu, he immediately drops to the floor from a stun blast from Rex. Windu then sees his final chance to end this once and for all, and throws his lightsaber directly through Palpatine. The Chancellor gasps, rolls over, and falls out the window. The 3 clones all drop to the floor in exhaustion, reflecting on what just happened. In the aftermath of Palpatine's arrest, Anakin was furious and in disbelief that Windu actually killed Palpatine. Ahsoka, Kenobi, and Padme were all there to try to reason with him. Once the Senate discovered what had happened to Palpatine, Mace Windu, Rex, Fives, and Hevy all stood trial. With the combined evidence of the security holo recordings in Palpatine's office, the capture of Count Dooku, and his testimony that he was a Sith Lord apprentice to Palpatine, in addition to his tie-in with the creation of the clone army, their names were cleared. And while the Senate and the public's reception did not view them as heroes, Hevy, with the help of his clone brothers and Jedi, were able to stop Order 66 and bring the Clone Wars to a swift end shortly after Palpatine's demise, cementing Hevy and Fives as two of the most legendary clone troopers in the Republic, and giving hope to all the clones that war would not be the only thing they knew.